So this isn't going to be like any flight you've been on before because we joke around a lot, we run around, we sing songs, we yell at each other, we throw pillows. It's going to be a fun flight. We'll be leaving here in just a minute. Thank you for coming on the Kids trip. I had like an autograph line of about 60 kids waiting to get my autograph. Brothers and sisters and kids. Mickey and Minnie walk in.
Sure.
I don't exist. I just don't exist. I'm thinking about giving me some ears.
Well, you got ears.
Can I have a bite of your neck? Just one little bite? I need a little bite of your neck. Can I just a little bite? I'm hungry. I haven't had lunch. Here I go.
That's good. A big bite.
I just want a little bite.
We take kids with all sorts of ailments and conditions, and I remember the very first year we took a child who was losing her eyesight. And I mean, she was at the very final stages and could barely see any images. And I remember some people questioning, is it wise to take a child who really almost can't see anything to a place like Disney World, which is such a visually stimulating place? And kids said, absolutely. I mean, the last images those children should see should be such a happy place, no matter how blurred and how dark those visions might be. And it just touched a special place in his heart. And those are the kids that he sought out and wanted to make sure they had the best time of all.
How about Christopher Parr? Does that name ring a bell with you guys?
Yes.
The little boy with progeria?
Yeah.
He said, you want to race? And then after we raced about 3 times, I said, I'm too tired. He said, you better get some exercise and some energy for tomorrow.
He's a great kid. My first Kids trip, I was really nervous because Kidd and Kelly and Al had gone on the trip for a long time. And I was a rookie, so I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. But I remember asking him, I'm like, man, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what am I supposed to be like really professional? And he said, dude, just be a kid. And I remember we went out to the park and there was this parade. Kidd, out of the blue, just started dancing. And Kidd is not a dancer. But just seeing all the kids looking over at Kidd and seeing like, oh, Kidd's dancing and he looks kind of funny doing it. And then little by little, each kid would start dancing along with Kidd. And then he ends up on the parade line dancing with these kids and the toys from Toy Story. And I just looked, I was like, man, like this kid really gets it. He's doing what he's preaching. He's just be a kid.
We had wheelchair races, our first ever official wheelchair race down Main Street, our first day in the park. Not bragging when I say that I blew away the field.
I don't know, dog.
I won because I cheated.
You cut me off. You drove that wheelchair, kind of like you drive your car.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
My favorite memory of Kidd was actually on my first Kids trip, and it was time to do Splash Mountain, and it's something we all did as a group, and Kidd sat in the front, and he got the wettest of everyone. And he turned to me and said, my Gucci sneakers are soaked. And I'll never forget it, but it was so funny, and he took it all in stride, because he really was such a kid at heart, and he kind of taught me to look at Disney World in a different way.
Kidd was not a big guy, but he always wanted to pick kids up. And I would be like, I can't get too far away from Kidd, because if Kidd drops the kid, it's going to be awful. Every single year, he'd either have a kid like on his shoulder, on both of his shoulders, he's swinging kids around. But I say that literally speaking, and then metaphorically speaking too. This trip really picks kids up. You know, this trip is such a great thing to pick up a child and a family emotionally. That's what this trip is all about, with picking kids up.
When the dad was in the elevator with me and his voice cracked when he said thanks, and he's like, don't you ever get tired of this? And I'm like, I don't. You know, a lot of everything stays the same here, and you want Disney to stay the same, but the people change, and you get a whole new group of gracious, thankful, counting their blessings people who have more reason to be upset with the world than I do, and yet they're so happy. People look at this trip and go, oh, it must be so sad. People would never come. It must be so sad.
No, not at all.
Man, you see a little boy with tripod walkers taking, 10 minutes to walk 30 feet. And not giving up. That's inspirational. Yeah. That's not sad.
We're wrapping up our 5 days here at Walt Disney World on Kids 2012. It's not lost on me that I'm not going to be doing this forever. And it's in my head every night. How are we going to continue to raise money for this trip? By keeping the awareness up for Kids. It lets people know that they can donate anytime year-round by going to kidskids.com. So we're proud of what we accomplish here. We're proud of all the people that put it together, and we'd sure like to see this continue forever.
I'm proud of you, Kidd.
Thanks, Al.
Sure.
Proud of you, too.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kidd Kraddick. Thanks, Kidd Kraddick.
Thanks, Kidd. Thanks.